The Dagestani invasion of mixed martial arts has gifted us with some of the most technically impressive and electric fighters of this era. And though there are many athletes from the region currently making their ascent across a wide range of promotions and weight classes, there are a handful that have truly proven themselves to be among the elite of the elite at this moment in time. The obvious names are, of course, the UFC lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov, a force of nature who is in many ways making us reconsider the entire idea of what a dominant fighter looks like. Zabit Magomedsharipov, who is something of a new tech fighter, a man whose well-roundedness, diverse offense and unpredictability has been enough to see many people peg him as the future champion of the featherweight division. Of course, there are many other names, seasoned veterans and rising prospects who are just waiting for their breakout moment, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to focus in on one of the most underrated fighters in mixed martial arts today. Okay, I do say underrated, but to be honest, there aren't many who would question the legitimacy of Islam Makhachev as a serious contender to the lightweight crown. I think there's a case to be made that there isn't a more polished and technically impressive talent outside of any divisional UFC top 10 right now. Where Khabib and Zabit have been the ones making the headlines, Islam has been forced into a relatively slow ascent towards his seemingly inevitable place within that lightweight title picture. Makhachev brings to the table a slickness that few other fighters can match. While the subtleties of what he is doing in there may elude some, closer analysis shows that this guy's abilities go far beyond what you'll actually pick up in real time. Though certainly a known presence at 155 pounds, Makhachev's rise has been halted due to what seems like an unwillingness on the part of his fellow contenders to take a fight with him. And it is understandable. Unranked for most of his 7-1 UFC run, Islam represents a major risk for most of the fighters around him who stand as stepping stones to what would likely be a run at the title. It is frustrating, I'm sure, but given his close ties to the divisional king Khabib Nurmagomedov, chances are the two are quite aware of the potential for a handoff once the champ inevitably decides to leave the sport behind him. Khabib may or may not stick to his plan of retiring after 30 fights, but if his run is truly coming to an end soon, Makhachev's own ascent will likely be approaching its pinnacle if he continues to win as he has. Though comparing other styles against Khabib's unique approach is pointless, there was always contrasts to be drawn between him and his teammate. And yeah, sure, there are certain similarities to be picked up on, but Makhachev has his own set of skills that make him something far removed from the champion. In my eyes, he has one of the best adaptations of judo for MMA in the sport today, and overall, his work in the clinch and the nuances of what it is that he is doing are nothing short of excellent. In the striking department, he cuts a very comfortable figure. Such is the nature of fighters who possess multifaceted threats as he does. As the proud owner of one of the UFC's highest takedown accuracy stats, Makhachev's wrestling chops are incredibly efficient, and watching just one of his fights will be enough to tell you that his shot selection is absolutely outstanding, in terms of his usage of either trips, throws, single or double legs. Takedowns are great, obviously, but if you lack the top control to truly dominate the positions when the fight hits the mat, their significance does decrease. Thankfully, Islam Makhachev is a wonderfully slick grappler and an expert at slicing his way through positions from the top. All in all, what we have here is an exceptionally well-rounded fighter, one who, despite not being the most consistent finisher, has found a way time and time again to assert himself over a 3-round battle. All that cage time will no doubt serve him well when the real tests begin, but even still, I find it difficult to think of Makhachev as a prospect. He's highly polished, he's lying in wait, and on October 24th, he will have the opportunity to take on a former champion of the division, Rafael dos Anjos, a fighter who, if he is in fact healthy and ready for a return to lightweight, will stand as an excellent step towards the top 10. RDA is a legend of the division at this point. A late bloomer who just seemed to find an extra gear after something of a stuttering start, it can be easy to forget that not too long ago, he was certainly in the discussion of being the greatest lightweight of all time. Now of course, issues with his cut down to that 155 pound limit caused him to make the switch up to welterweight, where his form has indeed been patchy at times. But one look at his resume will tell you that he has faced nothing less than a murderer's row in the last 5 years, and for the most part he has always made a good account of himself. At 35 years old and with him on a 1-4 skid, of course Makhachev should be favoured. But if RDA can in fact make that cut successfully, I do look forward to seeing him return to what I believe to be his optimum fighting weight. Remember that Dos Anjos is an excellent grappler and submission threat. In his heyday, he boasted endless cardio and a heavy pressure style that saw him dissect divisional veterans such as Anthony Pettis, Benson Henderson and Nate Diaz. Simply put, RDA is no joke, and while it is something of an annoyance that Makhachev has been forced to wait this long to get an opponent that will at the very least be known to casual fans, I believe that a win here would make him an unavoidable fixture in the lightweight top 10. To face off against Dos Anjos on a Khabib card also offers up the perfect opportunity to make something of a showcase for himself. The eyes of the fighting world will be on Fight Island that night, and to see a highly touted teammate of Khabib's on the same main card will be enough to add an extra level of reward for Islam. So do I think he will do it? I believe so, yes. Makhachev, in my eyes, is already a top 8 or 7 lightweight. The numbers don't show it yet, but again, it is the subtleties and the clear improvement in his overall game that make him such a nightmare matchup for most fighters at 155 pounds. If Dos Anjos is on point, he'll make this one a good fight, but to be honest, I have a hard time imagining a resurgence from the Brazilian at this point in his career. Not that I don't think Makhachev would win anyway, because I do, but if I had to guess, we'll see RDA start to show his age this time around, and with a platform like this and an undeniably elite skill set at his disposal, expect Islam Makhachev to truly send a message to the entire crop of lightweights. He's not quite there yet, but do not be surprised to see this man's name in and around title contention by this time next year. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of our latest uploads. And as always, thank you for watching.